You know what's really funny is that guy ripped this clean in half, and this is a foil. You know how hard these things are to rip. That man's got some serious forearm strength.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen that meme of where like somebody's like rolled up the top of a cereal box?
Oh God, yeah, I've seen that.
It's like somebody's grandma is strong as shit.
Dude, on today's episode of things that aren't illegal but should be. Okay. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Edison Club podcast. I'm your host, Mike, joined tonight by my teammates Mayberry and Behind the Dual Disc podcast. And we have a lot to talk about. The RBET New York was last weekend. A lot of interesting decks coming out. And definitely some cards being played that we haven't seen before. So we'll jump straight into this thing. We'll talk about the 8th place, was this standard Blackwings. We can start there. Whoever wants to go first. What are your thoughts on this thing?
Okay, I'll go first. Just looking over the list, Blackwing's one of the big three. It just looking over it, it just really looks like a not like no shade or anything. It just looks like a very run of the mill list. Like as far like Blackwing out of everything is pretty solid for the most part. The only thing that really like stands out to me is I would say probably the Raikou. I'm not like because I'm not really sure why Raikou why the Raikou was cited, but like other than that, it looks fairly standard, like pretty clean, pretty solid.
Yeah, like in the main deck, he did choose to run Gores, which is kind of becoming the new norm. See a lot of Blackwing players playing Gores. Also, Trap Stun in the main is an interesting choice.
Yeah, that's a lot different. That don't happen a lot.
Yeah, I don't really see that much.
Yeah, we when we were at the Switch tournament, I noticed a lot of people were playing that as well. Like a lot of decks were on Trap Stun.
Yeah, Trap Stun's definitely coming up.
Yeah.
I also see he's on 3 Icarus and deck Devi. A lot in the past have played either 3 Icarus and no deck Devi, or 2 Icarus and the deck Devi, because you're playing a lot of like tribute cards.
Yeah.
So going forward, I do think, I don't know if this is the normal or not, but playing 4 tribute cards in Blackwings might be the thing. I think he also expected a lot of mirror matches as well. Starlight Road is in there because it gets I think it's played like half the time. It just depends on the type of player you want to be. The sideboard playing the Raikou and Mind Control, that was for the Vayu matchups. And I think on his profile, he talked about like Soul Exchange and DD Crow. The reason he didn't do a second Crow is like, say he soul released, they wouldn't expect Crow. And if he crowed, they wouldn't expect soul release.
Yeah, that's smart.
The triple knock is, I don't think I've saw that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone side triple knock. I think I've seen some people side 2 before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's for like the hipster stuff, assuming hipster Raikou. He also decides Masker Restrict, which he plays Icarus and deck Devi, but also Masker Restricts it deals with more than just Monarchs. It deals with like Tribute Vanity's Fiend, Lightning Darkness Dragon. Like they can't do any of that. They can't substitute you.
That's true.
So I would be interested to see how his sideboard plan would be for that, because I assume you want to keep in deck Devi and some amount of Icarus to like stop the duplock. But I like the list overall. It's different, but although the same. But I like the Gores as well. Some play Gores, some don't. Also with the Vayu, some play 2, some play 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, his Raikou in the side deck is also a good out to Consecrated Light as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, yeah, not a lot to really say. I mean, it's pretty standard. I do like his tech choices, though. So we can move on to the next one, which was, looks like Rognak's Mausoleum Frogs. I was really excited to talk about this one, actually.
Yeah, so this one, praise this guy. Like, I don't even know. This guy comes up with so many different Frogs decks, and he tops with them, and the God of Frogs. Is that
Yeah,
a
dude.
bestiary I see in the sideboard?
It
Hang
is
on.
a bestiary
Yeah.
in the sideboard.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cards here that would throw your opponent off guard. Autonomous Action Unit is severely underplayed, I feel like, at times. Yeah, this is crazy. This is definitely his deck, and
yeah. I played Lad Frogs for a short amount of time last summer, or I guess summer before last now, and I was always asking him for help, and he always sold me on Action Unit. And that card comes up in so many like random like spots throughout the game. I'm a really big fan of Action Unit.
Does it bring back your monster or your opponent's?
Your opponent's. A monster from your opponent's graveyard.
Yeah. So it's a premature burial for your opponent's guy.
Yeah,
but,
I couldn't remember if it brought back yours or your opponent's.
Yeah, your opponent's. There are a lot of times where you'll do stuff like Action Unit back an Armed Wing, then use their own Armed Wing to kill them in like the Blackwing matchup. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Or you can get like Sirocco pump attack.
Yes. Exactly.
You can like fake a trap, and then if they don't have that, you can tribute sec for KS or what have you.
Yeah, its main purpose too is to like help speed up summoning Lad. So like you'll get Treeborn back in the standby, then you can Action Unit, take another card, tribute it for Lad, which is kind of cool. And you get bonus points if what you steal gets an effect like Lila or something.
In the GB matchup, you could if they side in that bestiary, you can actually get back one of their Glad, some of the bestiary contact for that Gazars.
That's right. You see, he does have Gazars in the extra deck, so I'm sure he planned for that. Like it's
so
crazy.
Like
like
dude, and tag out for bestiary.
You can you can econ their guy, or you can like Action Unit their guy from grave, take it, attack, tag into the bestiary. It's really smart. You have a lot of steals in this deck. I'm a really big fan of this list.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Very impressive player. Very good player. Very innovative player all around.
Is this the first RBET top with Kuraz in the deck? I don't feel like I've ever seen Kuraz in like an RBET topping deck.
I don't. I think this is the first one. I don't remember. There could be, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first one.
Yeah, Kuraz is really good with obviously your Gear Town stuff. Free draws,
I'm sure
free
Black Garden came up
Digitron.
a lot and like saved him a whole bunch.
And I know Black Garden won him game one in I think it was either in his top 16 matchup against Diva Hero. He attacked the Diva Hero player for with a Black Garden token for to win game one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, people just aren't prepared for that game one Black Garden. Like, it can be also super scary because if you summon, you just give them dudes and then they're just going to tribute.
Yeah. You notice like in the side, in addition to his bestiary tech, he also has a Gale in there, which I assume it has a lot of applications. You can put it in the Blackwing matchup. You can steal Shuras, run over stuff, get the Gale. But it's also like a really good out to stuff like Fossil Dyna and Vanity's Fiend.
Yep.
I like the Book of Moons as well. They're probably very versatile, like for GBs and also like Christius one or something where you can book Christia or Book of Vanities of some sort, something like that.
Yeah, Book is so strong in like triplicate and frog sides because you can use it in the draw phase or the standby phase and still get your Treeborn. Get rid of Vanity's Fiend or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think we've covered that one pretty good. Shout outs to Rog. Good job. Always like to see when something crazy manages to top. Okay, so moving right along here, we have the Twilight list, and I was really glad to see this one. This is all me. Yeah. Just covered this yesterday in a video. I'm actually making a video with Jeff next week, we're going to go over the deck, talk about it, take it over to the ladder, play some games with it. So when you look at it, it's very similar to just the standard Twilight list. He did change a few things. He did say in Discord that he actually didn't play Sangan. He played Tragodia instead. He said Keegan must have gotten that wrong on the deck list. That's what he said in the Discord, at least. So, but but he did cut 2 cards, which I guess would be Brain Control and Sangan, in favor of 2 upstarts. And I do have this list put together, and the upstarts can be nice at times. You got triple Solar Recharge, double upstart, and Allure kind of being your third upstart goblin. And I like the list. It's very clean. Big fan. Main deck Crows are really good. Crows in game 1 honestly are better than Crows game 2 and 3 because they're not expected. Side deck, pretty standard for Twilight. You have this one of Sirocco in there. It's a little bit different for like the value matchup, the Blackwing matchup. You could even argue matchups like GBs where you just need big bodies on field, big attackers. I think he had used that in that matchup as well. So yeah, big fan. Really enjoy seeing Twilight do well as of late.
I want to ask y'all a quick question. Because I was actually talking about this on a video I just made. With Upstart Goblin in Edison tournaments and like with modern time rules, how do y'all feel about that?
Okay. Game and go first.
I know some people don't play it because of modern time rules, and then there's some people that still do. Like how you like, I'm myself, I'm not a real big fan of it, but
So if you're playing like Blackwings and you are choosing upstarts over legacies, or whichever you prefer, but if you are using upstarts, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. But also like I don't really play thinking about time, if that makes sense, unless I'm playing like Chainburn or something like that. But also like those cards, like the upstart, the Yados or whatever, say it is upstart. Those are also like if you're getting down on time and you look up and there's 10 minutes left and you're going to game 2, like upstarts are going out. Solemn's going out. Especially because it's like in a phase type deal. I usually don't mind it. Like Dragon Turbo, I feel like you still have to play upstart to some degree. But like, say you're just playing Blackwings at upstart, I think it's still fine. I don't really think about the time that much until like I look up at the timer if there is one.
Right. Yeah, I remember like, correct me if I'm wrong, game is like we played Upstart Goblin when we went to Nationals last year, right?
Yeah, in Raleigh.
Yeah. I think there was like a couple times like it was kind of like shaky at the at that point, but it was like you say, you can just side them out. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me with Upstart, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. I definitely think it depends on what deck you're playing. I don't think I would personally want to play Upstart in a deck like Frogs that kind of just does like some chip damage here and there, 1,000 here, 400 there. But in any kind of deck that can put out a lot of damage quickly, obviously Dragon Turbo, but Blackwings, with their Sirocco pumps and their Kalutes, stuff like that. I think that the 1,000 is kind of an arbitrary number. I don't think it really matters that much. I don't think that I would play Upstart in standard Lightsworn specifically for the reason of you don't want to Upstart into Wolf. And normally you play triple Wolf in standard Lightsworn.
True.
I think that you could argue playing that card in Christia Sworn if you play like the old Soul of Purity and Light builds, not the Wolf build.
Yeah.
But I think it shines here because you don't really have cards in this deck you don't want to draw outside of the one Wolf, the one Plague, and the one Necro. And you do have conversions for most of those, which would be like Lumina, Reincarnation, or Solar Recharge. So it's not the worst. As long as you're not like in Pure, if you already had a Wolf in your hand, then you play Upstart, and you get another Wolf in your hand, you probably wouldn't be too happy. But here, I think that it can work because, Judgment Dragon, when it comes down, like it's going to do 3,000 damage. So I don't think the 1,000 really matters all that much. And even if you give them 1,000 with Upstart, like Honest is going to resolve at some point in that match as well and take 1,000 of that back down. So I think it's cool. I enjoy seeing people try out new things.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It gets you closer to charge and Solar Recharge and all your power cards first turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's head on over to Hero Frogs here.
Let's see. like you want games you want to start us out with this?
Okay, so this Hero Frogs, it looks pretty standard for the most part. People are switching in and out of Fader, like some play one to make, like, because usually just people play Gores, so people start playing Fader again. So you have to like start respecting that. Two Razia is something as well. Um, I think people just usually play one, but playing two is picking back up. I even saw like sometimes people play Lightning Darkness Dragon. Um, this list is also on the Sweet 3 Swap Frog, which is fun. Two E-calls. I don't know if that's regular or not. I think they usually just play one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just one normally.
Yeah, so this is just trying to get to Stratos first turn, which really you play 4 Stratos, because you play 2 E-call Rhoda Stratos.
Yeah.
I really like the Econ, the one of that's pretty cool. Miracle's Torrential. Those are becoming the norm, and those are just good cards to play. And stuff like this. Regeki Break I think, is very good discard trap card. And the 41st card is Dust Shoot. I really like Dust Shoot. The sideboard, Vandy's. It looks pretty normal. I like the Karma Cut. I like the D Prison. The water art is probably for the mirror match.
Mirror match and Dragon Turbo.
Yeah. I assume the transmigration is also for like, V Turbo Dragon of some sort. But yeah, it's pretty standard. I do like it. I need to buy these cards.
I actually have a lot of these cards on my desk right here, actually. I'm looking at Ocean, Malicious Edge, Chunk Synchron, 2 Miracle Fusions, and Future Fusion.
I really like the Dark Dust Spirit, too, because not a lot of people play that, and it's very unexpected. Like, against Amarillis, you summon that. I do think one of the reasons people stop playing it is because the Yada.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've saw that happen in a tournament yet where, they summon Dark Dust and you Yada. You basically pot agree. I'm wondering, like, I doubt that came up, but those are, like, the only drawbacks of that card.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I basically agree with everything that Gammon said. There's not a lot else to really say about this one.
Yeah, but the only thing different, like I've noticed about this list, it doesn't play like the Future Fusion Dandy combo.
I was just looking at that too.
That's other than that, still very solid list.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Ty, this one's all you. This is Diva Hero, so go off, King.
Oh yeah. So, the first thing that like stuck out to me, first off, shout out to, I think I don't I don't want to butcher this man's name. Zero, is that how you pronounce it?
Sure. I don't know his name.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I was watching the top 8, top 16 and top 8 matches that got posted. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, so Sarah played Diva Hero, and I just going over his list. The only thing different that from something I do is just like he plays the 1 gold Sark over playing 2. I mean, that's still fine. I would still play the 2nd gold Sark, but hey, he got a lot further than I probably would have. But yeah, I'm a big advocate for deck Debbie, and Solemn Judgment. I'm still a very big fan of Trap Sun over Judgment in this deck, just because this deck does not have a lot of defense, and once the thing about Diva Hero, once it's gassed, and it can if they are able to crack through an absolute 0 and still push with pressure, games can get very scary. But I'm glad that the song him playing Psalm was able to get him where he needed to be. Going over his side deck, playing Fossil Dino, that's standard. Just make sure your big pushes go through, like, to just make sure like Gores and Fader don't get the drop on you. Kaiko, I'm a big advocate for that. Consecrated, Cyber Dragon, Snowman, Soul Release, I personally myself go back and forth with it. Like it's really one of them cards. It's either you hate it or you love it. Super Poly, I'm a real big fan of. I love flipping this card in the Frog matchups and like mirror matches and against other hero decks. The one thing I've been trying differently that than what he's doing, he's pulling the rugs. I've actually switched over to Mask, just because I noticed I was getting like Mask was seeing more results when flipped than Rug was for me, and it just I just like a lot of the times it's like mainly just in the Frog matchups, it always sat on the field more than it ever got flipped for me. Decree, I love flipping Decree in this deck. Just Decree, especially against like Blackwing, having Decree Consecrate, that's pretty much no TK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see, I can't see this next card. Karma Cut, yes, I'm a big fan of Karma Cut. Just being able to like use those against like matches like in like Frogs. You can use it against Machina. Just it comes in hand. It comes in handy a lot when you need to banish stuff and destroy stuff. And then the second deck, Debbie. I mean, I guess you can. The second deck, Debbie, is good for consistency, just to see it. And I would never see a world where you would need to, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's there,
Yeah, and then like the extra deck, it really is just the standard Diva Hero decklet, Diva Hero extra deck.
Yeah, doesn't really change much from list to list.
So regarding the extra deck, do they always play the Flameville guy?
That's been something new that's come up this year. I don't know who the first person was to do it. I know me and Enraged Peacock, we played it in our list, and I've only got it doesn't come up. It mainly went into the extra deck just because where Amarillis was becoming a thing, just to be able to have a decent level 6 in your extra deck without having to just burn off Goyo and Brio like very early. You know what I mean?
Bro, Flamville guy is my favorite synchro in Edison format.
Yeah, they're like he's
pretty. I mean, at times he can be really good. Like, say you run over a hamster and they get Raikou, and like Flameville guy over Raikou scenarios like that.
Yeah, there are so many
and
times
obviously hit
like
Dandy tokens, Amarillis.
Yeah, it's really punishing for Frog players when they try to camp on Treeborn, and you just make this guy, and you're like, now you cannot summon Treeborn Frog unless you have a convert for it. That's right. I feel like that's where I've won most of the games with Flambeau guys, by attacking over Treeborn.
It did win me a game when we went to that 2K Boyd. I ran over the a Lightsworn player's Raikou with it round 1.
That's hilarious. I love it when it comes up. I killed an Amarillis player one time with this card, but I put Armory Arm on it. It was so funny.
Oh gosh!
Just to Armory Arm over a Dandy token for game.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, 3,100.
But the only thing that really it really just depends on how you feel about it. The only thing that really switches out from like extra deck to extra deck is just like some people side extra deck Chimera Tech and side Cyber Dragon. Some people won't do it and not respect the Machina matchup at all and just play an Elemental Hero Gaia over that spot. I used to like Gaia. I'm not a fan of Gaia anymore just because it's rare. Excuse me, it's rare for it to come up.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like having Fortress in here. I always play Fortress even if I don't side Cyber Dragon, because I just know the one time I don't play it, someone's going to leave up their Card Trooper and their Cyber Dragon, and I'm going to look at my extra deck, and it's not going to be there.
Exactly, dude. When I played in one of one of Fraser's I Am Nerd tournaments, I was playing against Machina Turbo or Machina Control, whatever you call it nowadays, whatever the kids call it. And it was game 3. Dude left up his Cyber Dragon and his Trooper and passed.
And you didn't have it.
I know I had it. And that's what won the match.
Oh, nice.
I was just like, oh, this ain't a drill.
Nice. Yeah, like I always like when this happens. I was playing a couple weeks ago at that Switch event, and a Cyber Dragon killed my Card Trooper. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, so I search for Card Trooper. I'm sorry, it kills my Sengen, which searches for Card Trooper, and then my opponent asked to read Trooper. And I was like, oh, okay. So you got Solemn Judgment down there. Nice, I see. So you just set the Trooper and just contact with the Cyber Dragon. It's so nice. So nice when it happens.
You gotta love it.
Okay, so anything else? Any closing remarks on the Diva Hero list?
Not for me. Like I said, it's very clean list. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I would probably do different in the main deck is just, switch out like the Solemn Fur Trap Stun and try to fit in the Gold Sark somewhere. That's the second Gold Sark. Other than that, it's solid.
Okay. All right. So moving on to Amarillis, and I actually haven't seen this list. This is the first time I'm looking at it, and this is a lot.
This guy's cooking.
He's
cooking, dude.
This guy literally threw in the kitchen sink, bro.
The pizza is in the oven.
Triple. I can't talk. That's hilarious. Triple. Triple Vortex in the main deck and Mystic Tomato.
This man is mad.
We need Nick Trudden on here to explain what this man was cooking. Or was this Nick? Who was this?
I don't know what the normal is, but
it's not this.
I know tomato is being tested or so. I don't know if Sangan is the normal or not. I remember Nick, I think, was siding Gale for the Blackwing matchup. This guy's just like, you know what? I'm going Mystic Tomato into Gale. And I'm just going to do stuff.
Mystic Tomato into Sangan or Gale or Plague or Tomato seems pretty good.
Right. Triple Vortex is definitely not played at all.
I don't think I've seen Triple Vortex played in anything, main or side.
No, and I think that caught a lot of people off guard because he can, Vortex Titanium Miracle Fertilizer. What's up?
Yeah, here I am.
Mystic Tomato also fuels Mark of the Rose.
It does.
Yep. Yeah, also True Nade, I don't think that's the normal. I think that's really good because I think you can just Miracle Fertilizer, bring dude, Giant True Nade, Miracle Fertilizer, bring dude.
You can. Fertilizer doesn't kill the monster it reborns if it leaves the field, which is crazy.
Let's see the side. Is that Aaron's normal, I think? Skill Drain's pretty cool. Puppet Plant. Which one does that steal again?
Spellcaster and Warrior.
Okay, now he really is cooking.
Bro, you imagine the look on your face when they go Puppet Plant, take AZ, Mark of the Rose, banish Puppet Plant, take your other guy.
Oh my god.
That's so crazy.
Or Puppet Plant, take AZ, Mark of the Rose, take something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that, at all.
I don't really know what this is for. Are we just overlooking? I mean, it steals Dark Greffer. I don't think you put this in against Vayu, though.
No,
I'm not really sure.
Diva Hero? I guess you put it against Diva Hero, Hero Beat, Diva Hero Beat.
Yeah.
This guy's been cooking. I have no idea, but he was cooking.
And I don't really know of any. Really, I don't really know of any spellcaster that anybody's scared of in Edison.
I mean, it can take Lila, I guess, it's just weird. I really want to know what this was for, and if we're just all overlooking something.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all.
Regardless, he did make top 8, so he must have used it at some point. Yeah, he was cooking, definitely cooking, and he also played Ancient Forest. So looks like that card's going to be going up again.
There there is something about Amarillis decks that I'm wondering what like it may have happened and I'm not have seen it. Has anybody played that Violet Witch card?
The synchro?
No, it's the level 4 dark. I think it's either a spellcaster or a plant monster.
Yeah, the ultra rare, the old ultra rare.
Yeah, it's a Sanguine for plants.
Oh, okay.
You can tomato into it. Like I remember a long time ago back in the day that like Gammons, you remember that old Shriek V website, right?
Yeah.
Had, like, all the OCG like deck lists and stuff. I remember back then there was a skill drain plant deck. It played Amaryllis's, Violet Witches, Mystic Tomatoes, Barbaros, skill drain, all that stuff. And I cannot find that deck list to save my soul. But I remember that. I remember watching like old videos of that, and that deck was just insane. And it honestly surprises me that nobody's tried to do anything with that yet.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
a lot
really
of people have, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows though? I mean, Amarillis has seen quite a bit of refinement, and it looks like people are on to new technology now. So who knows what could end up happening?
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay, so next we'll move over to, what is this, Vayu Turbo?
Yeah.
Not a lot to say about Vayu Turbo. It's pretty dang standard at this point as well.
Yeah, this one's pretty, so it's pretty standard. He did choose the hamster one charge, which is, fine. People either do that or the 2 hamster. I feel like he did that because he also is playing Chaos Rusher for a higher ceiling. Because you're playing like 4.5-ish lights.
Yeah.
Double D prison, double oppression, or double bottomless. Yeah. Fairly standard. I'd say the only thing that's kind of got up to date, I would say, is the Kaikos. Because like a few months ago, it was like 0 Kaikos, and then they're like, well, let's try 1. And this guy's on 2, so I'm pretty sure those probably helped in the mirror matches. Just the turn 1, they
really
go Greffer. Like they'll go Greffer, pitch Gardner, or pitch Value Piece for another Value Piece or Plague or something, and they just pass and you summon Kaiko. I mean, that can sometimes just win the game on itself. So I'm a big fan of Kaiko.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kaiku because I play Lightsworn, but I understand why Kaiku is good. I've been citing Kaiku myself. Yeah, it's crazy too because I remember like a year and a half ago, people said this card was terrible. They said it doesn't get past bottomless, and if it does get past bottomless, it rarely gets an attack off. And now we're just seeing Kaiku everywhere.
Yeah, people cited him for multiple matchups. May you hear what it's called up, but people are citing it against Hero Frogs to stop like the Miracle Fusion. And if they do happen to dupe block you and you can break it up, and you do happen to attack with Kaiko, you can banish their frogs.
Yeah.
Which that's better against like the quote unquote the Dream Frog build because they more rely on Treeborn, Fishboard, that sort of stuff. And then the heroes, like it's just good against Miracle Fusion. Like that card, Miracle Fusion single-handedly wins games.
Yeah, most definitely. Really it restricts them to only being able to Miracle Fusion from the field.
Yep.
Which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably about it on Vayu. Unfortunately there's just not a lot to really talk about. Like Gammon said, he chose to play the 1 charge and the 1 hamster, and that's about the only differences you see. And this guy also played Chaos Sorcerer, but for the most part, most of the list I feel like are pretty refined.
This guy's playing Solemn. Some don't play Solemn. Some play DDV instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a value player, it's unfortunately pretty standard.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is spicy. This is the one I've been really waiting for. First place, Gladiator Beasts. Did anyone think that would happen? Probably not. And if you did, no. I bet you didn't think that Guardian Eodos would be part of the equation.
No, I did not think Iatos was going to be a part of the equation. Like when people were talking about it in our big Time Wizard chat, immediately I thought, okay, they're on Iatos. That means they've got to be on like DeFi and macro and stuff in the main, and it's nowhere to be seen.
No, like
Yeah,
it's
I
so
automatically
crazy.
thought of D-Fissure as well.
So they've significantly cut down on monster card count. They don't play Test Tiger, obviously, because of the confliction with Iatos. But very minimal GB count here. We're seeing triple copies of Proving Ground, but basically in this deck, like your GBs never really touch Grave, and if they do, well, you have a quest that can just add them back and then turn on your Iatos.
Quest, Darius.
Can
we get a price check right now on Guardian Iatos, by the way?
Price check, Al4.
Yeah, for a secret rare. But like before this event and right now, if possible, because I don't think that card. It's pretty expensive now, I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't.
I think
so
they
the
were
Tigerless build.
I think they were like $20 before this event.
Gotcha.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think this is the first deck. I mean, it's technically. I mean, it is Tigerless, so it's the first place, like first ever, I think, top with GB in a RBET sort of scene, and it got. I mean, this is crazy. Like,
it is crazy.
No one would have expected this. He's playing 3 Proving Ground, which a lot of players do not prefer. But in this build, since you're not playing Tiger, you have to have a way to search. And this man's just going full out 19 trap cards.
Yeah,
like
classic GBs.
Yeah, like F Decree. If they decree, we got Bestiari sort of deal. And since we play 19 traps, we're playing double road. Like, even against the Blackwing matchup, if they Icarus, there is a chance we have road set. And even if we don't, he can bluff that. He can set 4, and your opponent automatically thinks you're on road, because you are. But really, you're just setting 4 cards, bluffing the road. So there's a lot of mind games you can do, and I really enjoy that. And I probably, this guy probably performed very well all day, but I feel like Trapstun won a lot of his games, because you can get really greedy. You can set 3 and then do whatever, and then on your next turn, whatever they do, if it's not solemn, you completely can demolish them. Trapstun into a Kazaris, stuff like that brings back the old days. And
I mean, you can do crazy stuff like Trapstun into Gazaras, pop their field, drop multiple Guardian Iatos. So that's another thing. You can, if you have 3 in your hand, you can summon all 3. There's nothing that says you can only control 1. So like Glads have this inherent problem at times where anything over 18 is hard to solve, but not really with Guardian Iatos, especially because now if Iatos drops, they're kind of forced to react to it with Bottomless or Torrential, and that just kind of clears your way for your GB monster. So in a way, it's almost like having extra copies of MST.
Yeah, like the Guardian Iatos, it gets over a turn 1 Armwing, which is insane. So that probably came up a few times where they're like, well, I have to Bottomless that, and then they're like, all right, summon the Quarry Tech Grapher.
Yeah.
You know what this makes me think of, and it makes me cringe that we didn't think about this before. But do you remember when we went to YCS Charlotte and we both played Tigerless GB?
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of Iatos back then?
I don't know. We were kids. We didn't know what we were doing.
True.
We had no idea.
True.
But this guy, you know what? He's like, Frogs are already he's pretty favored, I would say, versus Frogs. He's like, you know what? To make it even worse for them, we're side decking triple Mask. Okay?
And Possessed Dark Soul. Double Possessed Dark Soul.
I mean, dude, he's taking your Frogs and you're not summoning. Okay?
This guy was like, so Guardian Iatos doesn't solve the Duplog, but you know what does? Possessed Dark Soul.
Yeah.
No, it's my Duplog. And it hurts so bad if you take their Duplog when they're forced to Caius their own Duprog. It's so crazy. It can just make you live.
What do you do if you play against Dream Frogs? Sometimes they end the board on triple dupe sub.
Triple dupe frog. Yeah, and sub. Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. You just
That's a nice duplicate.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen in real life. But yeah, that's 5 more cards for frogs, and they probably dominated. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he did. He won.
Yeah.
And I really like the Sirocco's because I've never saw GB side that. If it does get to like a grind game, I mean, like I said, they won't expect it, but you just summon Sirocco and you pump, and that one pump. Sometimes with GBs, it's hard to inflict them the last like 2K or so, and Sirocco just covers that.
Yeah. Yeah. He also was on Anti-Spell Fragrance, which I haven't really ever seen be cited in Edison. What is this for outside of like Dragon Turbo?
So you could, if you wanted to, play it against that the Frog Monarch version with like triple Soul Exchange, triple Econ,
Okay.
something like that. The Dream Frog, I don't really know. Like it hits Soul and Avarice, but they also play like over 20 monsters. I'm not sure. Mainly Dragon Turbo, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also really dirty too because you can anti-spell them and then just Gazaras whatever they set.
Yeah, you can also just anti-spell and like say it is traps anyway. You just have trap stun.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It can be very, like I said, very mind gaming because you can also just side out road and like not saying you guys side in anti-spell, but just side in other stuff and they always expect road.
Yeah.
And then Ancient Forest. I think that's like a must in GBs, right? Because you can tag out before it pops your own Kai.
Yeah. Then it flips up Raikou and Hamster into attack mode without triggering the effect.
Yeah.
That's so good. It's
also,
so good.
Random food for thought, if you don't know, if this card flips up a Snowman Eater has to kill itself because it's not a flip effect.
Oh yeah, because it's mandatory. God.
That and it's not even a flip effect monster. It's just an effect that activates when it's flip face up. So it just pops itself.
Is it like that with Flip Flop as well?
Yes, it should be with Flip Flop as well. As long as it
interesting.
As long as it doesn't say flip colon, then it'll still activate. Yeah. So like, trying to think of a flip monster. Raikou Hamster. Yeah.
Hamster. Yeah.
And just a heads up to go back to when we were talking about Yatos' price. After I damaged first ed for this on there for like $38. After that, it goes up to $125.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I am flabbergasted. I thought that this card would never see play outside of like degenerate strategies like macro stun, and for this card to make its way into Glads, it definitely wasn't on my bingo card.
The last person that made that card famous was Kevin Silva.
Yeah. This is something new to look out for, man. Like this might be the edge that Glad Beasts needed.
People's definitely going to play this list. If not, they already, have been testing it. Congrats to this guy. Very, very different. Different than we saw some GB list topping, and this is completely different from that. This guy probably played out of his mind. He played all in one day, so they started at like, I don't know, 11, 12, and it ended at like
3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, I think.
That's so crazy.
So this guy was grinding all day.
Dude, Gamins, we need to take this list on ladder and play it together.
I would be down for that. That's cool.
The more I look at it, the more intrigued and invested I get into it.
Yeah, this guy probably played out of his mind. Like I said, congrats to this guy. He deserves it.
Yeah. Congratulations to everyone, not only in the top 8 but top 16. I think it was it 225 players?
Yeah, it was around 220 something. Because like the table number ended at whatever half that was.
Yeah. So good showing, good turnout. I did hear Keegan on stream said he was in the works of RBET North Carolina next year, so I hope that comes to fruition.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be very awesome. I do have a feeling a lot of people would travel out for that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think it would be a really good event for North Carolina. I know me personally, I'm really missing some of the bigger events like Ultimate Time Wizard and stuff. So I'd be be happy to have a tournament like that nearby.
Yeah, same. I would love for like a bigger event to be closer to home, because like the older we've gotten, like the harder it gets to like travel out to like these big events, like any like these West Coast events. I won't be there.
Yeah.
But like having like RBET North Carolina would be insane.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I would definitely love that.
Yeah, definitely. While we're on the topic of that, make sure you keep check on the channel, because I am going to be doing a video with Keegan in the coming weeks on fairies. And I think we're going to be testing out that Arcana Force, the World deck, crazy deck that people were playing at RBT.
Nice.
So I'm pretty stoked for that. I don't know anything about fairies, so that's been one we've tried to get in the works for a while, but it's finally coming out soon.
Speaking of tournaments and such, Boyd, about Big Boy.
You read my mind, Gammons.
Yes. You guys want to give the deets about that, or you want me to?
I'll let you do that. You have a better voice than me.
Okay, so let me look all of this up. So Big Boy Gaming is hosting a 3v3 tournament for Edison format. This is the weekend of October the 19th. It's a... Hold on, I'm looking at the Tengu tournament. Where's the 3v3 tournament? Hold on. He's posted so many events lately. That's a $500 tournament, right? That Saturday?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm sorry. No, it's a 2K. It's a 2K. Here it is. 2K 3v3 on October 19th at 1 o'clock p.m. Looks like this will be at the store. It's not going to be at the fairgrounds. So $30 per player, $90 per team. Registration begins at 11:30. Round 1 starts at 1. First place $800, second place $600, third and fourth $300 each. Prize breakdown is guaranteed. The prize structure will be raised with higher attendance. So that is happening on Saturday the 19th. Sunday the 20th, there's a $500 cash Tengu format tournament happening. And that one will be pretty fun. I'm excited. I think I'm going to play X-Sabers. Play something a little different than Lightsworn this time. But entry fee for that is $20. First place $200, second $100, third and fourth $50, fifth through eighth $25. So once again, it is guaranteed. Prize structure gets raised with higher attendance. So that rounds off October, and then going into November, we have another 2K on November the 9th at 10:30 a.m. So that is a 2K. This one is actually going to be
at the fairgrounds.
Yep. This is at the James Holhauser building. Pretty sure that's where we had the 5K last December.
It is.
Okay. Top 12 playoff. First place is the giant Black Rose Dragon. Second place $400. Third and fourth $200 each. Fifth through eighth $100 each. So that one's pretty cool. And then the Sunday right after that is the 3v3. So this is a 3K Edison 3v3. Let's see. Same location at the Holhauser building. $40 per player, $120 per team. First place $900, second $600, third and fourth $450, fifth through eighth $150. Once again, guaranteed. Prize structure gets raised, higher attendance. So Diego is doing the most out here for Edison events in North Carolina. So please come out. If you guys come out and support, tell your friends, tell your family, bring your aunts, bring your uncles, grandparents. Give them a deck. They can play it. Give them
family members.
Yeah, give them Blackwings. Anyone can play it. He will do more tournaments. There is the possibility that he would do something like a 10K if the interest is there. If we can get the numbers up and people come out and play. We've talked about it a lot. We see a lot of people go out and fly into tournaments to play for like a $400 card for first, but he's literally giving out thousands of dollars in cash, for topping one of these. So definitely come out, check it out. Big Boy Gaming on Facebook, our sponsor. Check them out, give them a like, and I think that about covers all the stuff with BBG. Anything I've left out?
I just want to say just a big shout out to Diego. Just gonna give him some further glazing there. Just give him like a big shout out. Really, if it wasn't for Diego and Big Boy Gaming, we wouldn't have like a lot of Edison tournaments in North Carolina. Really, like Time Wizard tournaments in general in North Carolina. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have a grand majority of my tops if those tournaments didn't exist.
Yeah, he's definitely doing the most when it comes to Time Wizard stuff, and he wants to do more. A lot of people have had interest in hat format lately. That's been a pretty hot topic, so he probably would be open to doing tournaments for hat. I've heard there's something in the works for that. So, like I said, like them on Facebook. You can see all the events that they'll have, and bring all your friends. Let's make something good happen here in North Carolina.
Definitely.
Yeah, Diego's crushing it, man. I hope everything good happens. He's always crushing it with these tournaments, and if you don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I think also at those events in November, like I think they're doing a Magic event, One Piece, Pokemon,
probably Lorcana too.
Yeah, Lorcana. So even if you don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, you can still chill, hang out, and play other stuff.
Yeah, and the one in November is going to be. The tournament will be going on, and there'll also be like some big trading card convention going on in like the next hallway. So like baseball cards, football cards, Pokemon, whatever. It'll be a pretty big show, so it'll be something there for everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Diego.
Yeah, shouts to Diego at BBG for sure. All right, well, I think that about rounds everything up for tonight. Any closing remarks from either one of you?
So I'm glad there was 8 different decks in top 8 of this tournament. It's really nice to see something different, even though like a lot of people say about the frogs, the big 3, the quote unquote that, frogs, Blackwing, and Vayu. I think now people are even evolving those standard lists into other lists. Like a lot of the frog decks now, they're playing, I think it's called like Stun Frogs or something with the Sea Lancer, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That card's insane. I was playing on DB and I had a Vandy's Fiend, and this guy attacked with Sea Lancer and negated my Vandy's Fiend. And I totally got shell shocked by that because I didn't even think about that. So like I like how these decks are evolving. Like a lot of the Vayu decks are starting to, main deck Virus. A lot of the Blackwing decks are, Gores has been in and out. Deck Debbie's been in and out. Some play draw traps, some don't. So you still like have to think about what your opponent's doing, even if they're not playing certain cards. Like the mind games sort of thing. And like I said, I just like there was 8 different decks because that don't happen a lot of the times. And when it does, it feels good that the format is 14 years old and there's 8 different decks in top 8. Like that makes me feel good.
Same.
Yeah, especially when the winning deck is something so different from anything that's been played so far. Yeah, once again, we'll do some pretty serious glazing for the GB player, but we'll do it with pride. Congratulations, you definitely deserved it.
I'll say this, and this will be my last thing for my last statement for the episode. This year has been Gladiator Beasts show improve year. That like 100%. It's been the deck that just like it went from being the meme last year to just being just one of the most dominant forces this year, I say.
Yeah, with the absence of Hero Beat, Gladiator Beasts have just risen up to really take over that spot in the meta. It's like Hero Beat is like the avatar, like when the world needed him the most, he vanished, and it's gone. So Glad Beasts are here now. So I think they're here to stay as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, then that's about it for this one. Ty, Mayberry, thank you guys for sitting down here with me tonight. I really enjoyed it. And this is Mike, Ty, and Mayberry from the Edison Club signing out. Till the next one.